Hi, what's up, everybody? This is Rob Shank. So we are going to be now doing part, I think it's part 6 now. I could be wrong. Of my Gran Turismo 3 Max Speed Tuning Up Every Car challenge. So we'll just go ahead and get right into it. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment and stuff. Thank you guys so much for your support. So we'll be starting with the Corolla rally car today. So here we go. So here's all the stuff. Just modified everything because rally cars tend to have really high ride heights and really slow, like limited slip and everything. So I just went ahead and modified that, changed the gears, and now here we go. I noticed something with this car as it was in the scroll menu. They have the names of the drivers of this car on the side, which is really interesting because it's French. There's a France flag on the top there, I just noticed. But it's interesting. I don't know. I know that that's like accurate. This car is like exactly what it looked like in whatever race this car was involved in. So I respect that attention to detail they put with this one. So my goal with this car was to do the same thing I've done with everyone else, try to get it where I'm hitting the 6th gear before this turn, so I didn't do the best job with this one, but rally cars are kind of a hard one to read because they're really hard to, they don't seem to really want to go that fast when you get to the higher top speed, which makes sense because they're originally geared not to do that. So I mean, that's how they're created is for rally. So it's going to be a little bit more interesting to tune up the rally cars in this game. But I've had a good time trying to figure it out. My goal is to get to the 6th gear before the turn, so this one wasn't the best example, but to try to get the car to be near the red line, ideally not above it, but I try to get it just below the red line. It's probably not, I don't think it's the fastest way to make these cars go, but I'm just kind of trying to set a standard for every car, and that's just my way of interpreting how these cars look. So, yeah, that's how I have been planning this so far. The Corolla did pretty well, actually. It's 11th place. There we go. All right. Now we have the BMW 328 Ci in steel gray metallic. So here we go. Just my gear ratio, y'all can check that out. And here we go. So I have like very little to complain about this game. As y'all can tell, I've made a review on this game and I pretty much have everything positive to say about it. The one thing that's kind of a bummer is certain models or makes of cars, manufacturers, if you will, they lose so many cars between Gran Turismo 2 and 3. BMW is one of them. BMW has like 15 cars in Gran Turismo 2, and in Gran Turismo 3, they just have this one. What's also really interesting about the 328 Ci is they don't bring that car back after 3. I was wondering if they, like as I've been doing a max speed test of Gran Turismo 6 as well, as I've been going through this one and 3. They don't have the 323 Ci. They have other cars that are based on this model. They have the M3 and all that, but they don't have the 3 Series in Gran Turismo 6, which is really weird. I never really noticed that. But I mean, the BMWs, and I remember in 2 they had the 5 Series, the 8 Series, the 7 Series, and they had a whole bunch of 3 Series. So I think it's just really interesting that they picked, of all the cars to keep, they kept the 323 Ci and not like a 5 Series or a 7 Series or anything like that, because those cars are really good and they're actually faster than the 3 Series. But it's cool, I guess. The 3 Series is really good. I mean, obviously it's about to break my record of the top speed at this point. So coming out strong with the 323 Ci, 207 miles an hour. All right, now we have the New Beetle RSi based on that Cup car. Let's do it. So here's all the stuff. It got the VCD with this one. A lot of the cars don't have that VCD upgrade, which I don't know how much of it doesn't make much of a difference, but it's still cool. I like that upgrade. So this car, I used this car in one of my other videos. I used this car in a race. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the turbo race, but it was on test course. I was racing cars way better than it, but it's really good. It's a very good car. It's not expected because I had a hard time with the Beetle, the new Beetle, when I was doing an earlier part of this series, but the RSi, really good. Close. I don't think this car is going to place, but still pretty good. Especially in the first few gears, it was so fast. Alright, now we have the Lancer Evolution 6 rally car. Tommy written on front. Want to be sure I did that right. There we go. And they start out really strong. Every car, when you change all those slips, I guess, the acceleration off the line is incredible. Not the best way to end that turn, but I think it'll do. I get 196. Right. Barely. Barely. Alright, now for the Peugeot 206 rally car. Looking good. Here's all the stuff. Gears changed, downforce, everything. Good to go. Don't know if you've been noticing this, but I've been slowly adding more cars into each part of the series because I can, because the cars are going faster. First video, I'm pretty sure, is the longest. I have the fewest number of cars in there, but it's because I have the Mini Cooper, the Daihatsus, the Alto Works, all the cars that are like really slow. they're all in the first part, and so it's funny how I can add significantly more cars to the later videos in this series because it's like, well, I can because they're all going way faster. All right, 193.2. It's not going to place, but it's still good. Now we have the Mazda Savanna RX-7 INFINI 3. It's a mouthful. Here's all the information for this one. Gears, everything. So we're good to go. I like the way this car sounds, by the way. It's awesome. Can't remember how fast this one goes. I think it does pretty well. But this is one of my favorite really old cars in this game. Pretty good. Definitely going to break a record here. I might even get over 207. He's still going pretty fast. So close. Down to the wire. I think they tied. Oh wait, no, he beat him. All right, now we have the Impreza rally car, the first gen. Here's all the stuff, stats, whatnot. The rally cars in this game really need a lot of work to make them go faster, which is, I mean, it makes sense because they're geared very differently, but I just don't see that. So fast off the line, it's awesome. Right here, I think he'll make it. I'm very impressed with this rally car. The fastest one I think I've seen so far. Possibly, I can't remember. I'm wrong, let me know. Oh my gosh, so close. I wanted 200. Now it's time for the Alfa Romeo 156 2.5 V6 24V. Alright, here are all the stats. Enjoy. This is another car manufacturer that I have a huge confusion with, and it's the only sort of downside to this game is they obviously kept one of the most famous cars of Alfa Romeo in this game. I noticed that 156 logo down there is kind of off-centered and it's blocking one of the fog lights. That's pretty funny. But the Alfa Romeos are a great manufacturer. That touring car that sounds like the Opel Calibra or whatever. And I mean, I'm like, so it's pretty surprising to me that they got rid of so many Alfa Romeos in the game, and they could have easily kept that touring car because that touring car sounded in two just like the Opel. So it's like they could have just, I mean, I know that I don't like them reusing sounds. They could have just slightly modified the sound of the Opel touring car for the 156 touring car, and then they would have had an extra car in this game. So that's like my only bummer. But they're focusing on quality, and so I respect that. But that's my beef with it. Literally just one Alfa Romeo and just one Fiat and just one BMW. Come on, those are one of my favorite models. And I'm like, it's fine. 156 is it's pretty good. It's not gonna have the top speed that but I mean, it's slowing down and it gets slower as it gets closer to the next gear. So it's like you have to find this line between tuning it up fully, like getting the gear maxed or not. And I feel like I did a decent job. All right, now we have the Acura NSX, one of two. There were all the stats. I didn't say that. It's obvious, and here we go. So, the thing I really am intrigued by with this game, and they do it with the Miatas too. So they have the name Mazda Miata, MX-5 Miata for the 89 and the 93 Gen 1 MX-5 Miata. They do the same thing with these NSXs. So there's the Acura NSX. There's two different Acura NSXs. One is the coupe and one is I guess the convertible, this one. But I don't know why they don't name them differently. So they're both just listed, and you'll see the other Acura NSX is in this part as well. And I just think it's so interesting that they didn't name them different things. They're just both called NSX. That's it. And there's also an NSX, I think, as a Honda, but I know that they have the NSX Type S and the Type R under Honda. But I'm like, it's so bizarre to me that they could just name these things a little bit different, but they didn't. So, to each their own. But this car is going to absolutely be the fastest one now. And then shout out to Mr. Smashboy28 for this idea. Again, these videos are so fun to make, and I'm just kind of, he did them probably with more information, but I just wanted to do it too because they're so fun. But shout out to him for these videos because it's like, I talked about ways to tune these cars up, and so I really appreciate it for it. All right, now we have the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4 GSR, one of my favorite cars in this game. Here's all the info. Let's do it. remember when I was a kid, there's a replay in the original Gran Turismo where it's our GT2 Turbo race car in that game, and then he's racing against the Impreza. Back then, I didn't call the Evolution 4 a rally car yet. They just called it the racing modification of this Evolution. But I remember really liking the Evolution 4 rally car in that game. And I liked just the body style of the 4 compared to every other model that they've made. To me, it just looks so good. I don't know why, but the 4 is definitely one of my favorite cars like I've ever seen. And I don't know why, it's not as good as the improved the Evolution since. But I just really like the Evolution 4. Speaking of evolutions, here is the Lancer Evolution 7 rally car prototype. Here's the stuff. Downforce is adjusted for, and we're ready to go. So this car is really unique. I've noticed in later games, the Lancer Evolution 7 rally car isn't even in the games. So I don't know what happened there, if Lancer or if Mitsubishi never actually made an Evolution 7 rally car, but this game has the rally car prototype. It's replaced by the, I think they replaced it in one of the later, the prototype games for 4. I think it's Gran Turismo Concept or something. They bring back the Lancer Evolution 7 rally car. It's not the prototype anymore. And that's pretty cool. And then that car is never to be seen again. It's only in 2 games. And so I don't know if y'all know the story of this car. Let me know if you do. I think that's really interesting that the 7 rally car is just absent in all the later games. But they kept the Evolution 4 rally car, 5 rally car, I'm pretty sure the 6 rally car, and then later, even more recent rally cars. I think in my Gran Turismo 6 max speed tests, I've done the Lancer Evolution 9 rally car they have in 6. Don't quote me on that one for sure, but yeah, if y'all know what happened to this car in later games, I'm very curious what happened to this car. I'm very curious. $197.8. Wow, that doesn't place. Crazy. Alright, now I have I think this is the Honda Integra Type R. There's all the stuff. Pretty sure this is the Honda. Yeah, that's the Honda logo. I think that's interesting about Honda versus Acura in these games is, I think it's this game where the CL came into play and the RSX were in the game. But before that, in 2 and in 1, the Honda versus Acura thing was super interesting. It was just Integras and NSXs, and I'm pretty sure that was all that was there for Acura. And then in 3, they finally kind of started to show Acura's unique cars, which is the CL and the RSX. But then I think the RSX is actually just the Integra, but a later model. It's just the Integra from 04, but they hadn't figured it all out yet. But they included the RSX Type S concept car in this game because they knew it was coming, which is cool. But the CL was the first kind of unique car that they added for Acura, which is nice. Eventually they added the dual note or the DNX and the RSC and other versions of the CL, and they started to get it unique. But it's just cool how it started out as just literally clones of Honda cars. But this guy's going really fast. he tied the NSX. No, the NSX was better. All right. Here we go. I have the Toyota Celica GT4. It's a good car. So here's all the info. This car is interesting too because this is the only road car I've seen so far that has a downforce modification. Like you can actually modify this car's downforce. I had not seen that in any car before this point. I'm hoping that more road cars have downforce abilities, but this is the first one, so y'all are witnessing it. The Toyota Celica GT4 is also really one of my favorite cars from the first game. My favorite cars in that game were very much the Viper GTS, of course, so freaking good. And then I liked this one, I liked the Evolution 4. I liked the Subaru Impreza RLY edition. I don't know if y'all remember that car. It was like totally not real because the RLY edition means rally, and the rally car in that game was so freaking good. But they ended up making that in practice mode too, but it was just awesome. Such a good car. And then I liked the Acura NSX GT2 turbo thing. That thing was so good too. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your favorite cars in the first game were, because this actually is one of mine as well. I don't know if this orange color was in the first game. I think it was, because it's a special color. This is like a prize car GT4, so it's a little bit faster than the bought one. I'm pretty sure you could win this exact in the first game. I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's gonna place. Unfortunately. Alright, now we have the Acura NSX Coupe. Here's the info, and now let's do it. So I made the mistake of buying the black one because it looks awesome, but I wanted to show y'all that this is the one that does not have a, it's not a convertible. This is the coupe version of the Acura. You can tell it sounds a little different than the Type R one, the convertible, but they both kind of sound like the Castrol Fusion NSX JGTC. Once to tune it up, obviously, and they're kind of saying like, yeah, it's going to be kind of close to that. So I respect it a lot. This car's great. Might beat the other NSX. I kind of hope it does, but I don't know. Maybe a close one. I don't think it did. Pretty sure the other NSX had 209. Oh no, that was. I don't remember. We'll see. Alright, my second to last car for this video is the Nissan 240SX Fastback Type X. Here's all the stuff. And let's go. This car looks so cool. I like this car a lot. another thing y'all might know. Is the 240SX the prequel to the 300ZX? I don't know. And if it is the 300ZX the prequel to the 350Z? Because I can see that one a little bit more, but I'm just curious. And if y'all know, let me know. This car is really fast, by the way. I think it might be better than the NSX. We'll see. Kind of juggled it there for a second, but we're good. Yeah, significantly faster than the NSX. That's ridiculous. And the last car is the Silvia K's 2000cc. There's an info and let's do it. So thank you guys so much for the support. Be sure to give this video some likes and some comments and stuff like that. Help it get spread out there. Because I mean, these are fun to make, and I feel like it can start a lot of discussions between people, these videos, because you can kind of like compare your favorite cars and comment on the irony of like the Elise is still going to be one of the top cars in this game, even though that was like part 1 or 2 maybe, and the Elise is going to still be very high up on this list of cars. So like, I think it's really cool to see how there's so much potential for every car in this game, and there are cars that seem like they're going to be slower that end up being on the top of the list, which I think is really interesting. Like the Silvia K's is from like the 80s and is looking to be one of the fastest cars out of all the cars I've driven so far, which is just really interesting. And it's also interesting to note how the rally cars tend to not be on this top 10 list like ever, because I feel like even when you tune them up, they're rally cars, so they're geared towards being much better at the beginning. Their first few years are always like super good, and then until they start to taper about like the 4th year. So it's really interesting to see that change. Solid, very solid. So we'll check out the top 10 list, and then from here, this will be the end of this video. So yeah, a lot of those are set today, but yeah, like the Spoon S2000, not as fast, but it did really well. Speedster 2. Okay, so I'm wrong, the Elise wasn't actually on this list anymore, but Speedster still is, and that car has significantly less horsepower than like all of these guys, and it's so close. So thank you guys for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day or night.